Hi, I'm Dain, and welcome to REV Zero. At REV Zero, we equip and support engineers turned managers from first time team leads to CEOs. In my new manager program, we spend 4 weeks focused on how to manage others effectively. Ultimately, in your first role in managing people, the test is how quickly can you embrace the new role and let go of your old one. Letting go may be the most challenging part, but one of the easiest ways to let go is to replace your old job with the core responsibilities of a manager. Now, there are 5 core responsibilities of a manager and one non negotiable skill. The 5 responsibilities are to establish objectives, organize efforts, motivate action, develop people, and measure performance. So let's look at each one. The first responsibility of a manager is to establish objectives. As a manager, people are looking to you for direction. Can you answer these questions? Why does the team or group exist? And how does it fit into the broader organization? Establishing objectives is not an annual offsite activity. It must happen regularly at both the group and individual levels. For individuals, this often means setting short term goals and helping them prioritize their work. For a team, it may include renegotiating objectives when you don't see the results you're looking for, or when priorities shift, which they always do. Establishing objectives is very active. Never assume that people know what needs to get done or why. The second responsibility of a manager is to organize efforts. This involves assigning work, balancing priorities, coordinating efforts, scheduling, resource loading, running meetings, and working cross-departmentally. There's a lot to do. A manager sets the conditions under which work can happen. So you make sure your team has the resources, the time, and the direction that they need. The third responsibility of a manager is to motivate action. Now we're getting into the complexity of managing people. This is where psychology is absolutely necessary. To motivate others, you have to know them personally. Now, HR can put in place incentive programs, and senior leadership can enable bonus structures. But ultimately, the single greatest influence on someone's motivation at work is you, their direct supervisor. So, how do you motivate others? Great question. We dive deep into the models of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, the differences between unmotivated, demotivated, and motivated. But more importantly, we help managers like you find the right lever that you can pull to motivate your team right now. The fourth responsibility of a manager is to develop people. People grow, it's what we do. A manager is perfectly positioned to bring meaning and structure to our personal and professional growth. From an organizational perspective, it is absolutely critical that the people within the business continue to grow personally as the business grows. Now, in our program, managers learn how to provide the resources, the opportunities for the people within their care to grow through training, challenging opportunities, or even temporary assignments. The fifth responsibility of a manager is to measure performance. A manager is only successful to the extent they enable the performance of their team, and this performance must be demonstrated. Unfortunately, performance is not always easy to measure. A manager must work with both quantitative measures of performance like billable rates or utilization rates, but more importantly, they have to work with qualitative measures of performance like respectfulness. Finally, underpinning every definition of success for a manager are their skills and abilities related to communication. And we introduce key models of communication to help managers at every level communicate more effectively. I consider communication to be the one non negotiable skill of a manager. It doesn't matter how technically savvy you are or how organized you are. If you fail to communicate, you will fail to be effective. Managers play a critical role in the success of any organization. They are interpreters, connectors, and protectors. A manager's effectiveness depends on how well they perform these 5 responsibilities, which all depend on their communication skills. In our new manager program, we go beyond the conceptual and we help each manager step into these responsibilities, immediately putting into practice what we talk about. Every new manager needs a leg up, and we can help.